Do you feel frustrated at world events? You read the news, you see what's going on, COVID deaths, all the terrorism that we see. Palestine at the moment is something which is very close to people's hearts. Do you feel a sense of frustration that that you can't really do much, right? If government leaders, if world organizations, United Nations and people like that, the superpowers of the world are not doing anything, what is an individual like me going to be able to do? What difference can I make? There's a couple of things I want to share here, right? So everything, like my perspective on this, I always like to try to think of things in a positive way, try to give people practical solutions, and I've been very blessed that I've been able to attract a very wide audience, people from all walks of life, all faiths, and I've always tried to cater for that, but at the same time I have to stay true to my own my beliefs, the things that define me, my core principles, right? So let's take Palestine for example, because that's something that's very close to my heart, and when it doesn't matter what cause there is out there, it doesn't matter which people demographically or in terms of their religion it's affecting. We need to enjoin the good, forbid the evil, right? We need to speak up, okay? So whether it's innocent women being harassed in India, for example, if it's black people, people of from the African community being prejudiced, being stigmatized, being racially abused, murdered, as we've had examples, countless examples, right? So, and it's only right to speak up in those situations and condemn that, and I've always done that. Unfortunately, with this Palestinian issue, people don't seem to be so readily willing to come up and speak up and voice what's going on, or maybe they just don't even bother to research exactly what's going on and just check in, independent media rather than whatever is fed to us through mainstream media, and they just ignore what's going on. The reality is that there's innocent women and children being slaughtered, being killed, being murdered, right? And it's been happening for before I was even born, right? It's been happening for the equivalent of 2 of my lifetimes, right? And probably longer, right? So it's not, it's nothing new, okay? Practically, what can we do? There is so much we can do. I was speaking to one of my teachers recently. He's a Palestinian. He's in Jordan at the moment, but he's settled here in the UK with his family. And I said to him, what can we do for it just seems like all this demonstrating and protesting, does it really help? And he was so he was so quick to respond. He said, don't stop that, please don't stop. Do whatever it takes. Go to your religious centers, do gatherings of prayer, but definitely continue the protest, because when we see you people flying our flag and chanting slogans, it really gives us peace, gives us motivation to continue our struggle for independence, right? So it's you can speak to your local MP, you can you can try and organize some kind of gathering. You could do a virtual gathering to raise awareness, okay? And obviously you have to be very mindful of being respectful to everyone's beliefs, and not it's not something which is like an agenda against a particular religion or people of a certain faith or people of a certain country. It's just about enjoining the good, as like I said earlier, and just pointing out what's going on. There is no room for in modern life for innocent women and children to be killed mercilessly, to be bombed, and and they've got nothing. They've got the kids in Palestine, for example, they have they throw stones, right? So are you going to retaliate by bombing them and knocking their houses down and kicking them out of their house and putting people in their house, and then those people laugh at them as they stand outside their former houses thinking, what the hell's happened here, right? So it's it just needs to be condemned, right? It needs to be condemned. And like I said, you know, any atrocity, any oppression, anywhere around the world, regardless of which, you know, person it is in terms of their demographic location, their religious beliefs, their culture, it just needs to be condemned. So I just really wanted to kind of get that one off my chest and say, look, you know, just do whatever it takes. You know, just there is so many ways of peacefully voicing your opinion and fulfilling that obligation of enjoining the good and forbidding the evil. So I hope that there was some benefit there, some practical tips. But really feed your mind with, like, you know, positive content. Sometimes we can't avoid negative media. You know, there is a lot of, like I said, a lot of unfortunate events going on around the world. But you know, these people, they need our help. Okay, we've been in a lockdown for a year. Believe me, our lockdown has been a honeymoon compared to what these people in Palestine, for example, have been suffering for the last 100 years. Okay, they've been in, like, you know, they're not even able to, like, go from, like, A to B. From, you know, a kid isn't even able to go to a school or the local superstore. Like, it's just like, you know, they've been blockaded. There's barbed wire. There's walls put up. They're treated like, you know, like second class citizens is actually a compliment. They're not even treated like second class citizens. They're treated like absolute, like in a absolute, you know, they're like trash, basically, to be honest, right? So, like, and the tide is turning. I really believe the tide is turning. People are taking notice now. Mainstream media is beginning to take notice of what's happening, and maybe the advent of social media and you know, the way images and content now is, like, being uploaded instantly to the access of people all around the world, is maybe helping now to you know, allow a more broader opinion, you know, a more kind of open-minded perspective to be portrayed. So regardless of whether world leaders or, you know, world organizations do anything, everything starts with me. Okay, I can be a better person at home with my family. Okay, no good me, you know, like, talking about oppression in other countries if I'm oppressing my family members, or, you know, if I'm being you know, like, aggressive towards people, and I'm rude and things like that. Okay, so you know, I can make a difference if we have the mindset that if I get better, if I improve myself, then that will have a ripple effect on everything else, right? It will have a ripple effect on my family, on my community, on humanity at large, right? Then if everyone took that responsibility, this world would be a much, much better place, okay? But right now, it's to talk, the time is to talk about Palestinian lives. Palestinian lives matter, okay? When it was Black Lives Matter, I spoke up, you know, for the African community, because there was voices there saying, oh, well, you know, so, you know, there were some people saying, oh, other lives matter as well. You know, why are you just talking about Black Lives Matter? But at that moment in time, because of the murder of George Floyd, you know, there's a certain time when you need to speak up, okay? And that doesn't mean that you disregard all the other atrocities going on around the world, and people of other, you know, races and people of, you know, like I mentioned, like the women in India, for example, where, you know, there's been so many atrocities and rape and things like this. These things need to be called out, okay? Terrorism, okay? We've had people, you know, killing innocent people in the name of religion. You know, so that needs to be called out, because there is no room for that. The religion, you know, religion is supposed to make you stand out like a beauty mark in society, and people want, you know, are supposed to be, like, so taken aback by your good character, yeah, and your mannerisms, not, like, you know, feel scared of you and feel threatened when they look at you, you know, because of your aggressive nature and the way you walk and the way you dress. You know, you should stand out like a beauty mark, okay? So there's improvement that's needed across the board for all of us, you know, for men, for women, for, you know, people of faith, people, you know, who don't have faith. Like, we can all make a difference, and everything starts with me, right? If I can be better, if I can strive to be a better human being, you know, a better husband, a better father, a better member of my community, then that will definitely have a knock-on effect. That light will spread further and further, to the point where one day we hope, we pray that we live in a world where children can play together in an environment where they feel safe, and they don't have to fear for their life every time like they step out of their house, or not even within their own homes, that they always have this fear that will they be able to get through another day. So that is no way to live. Okay, you've got to really find a better solution, find a way to love each other. We all have the same blood running under our veins. Yeah. Okay. From the exterior, we may have different appearances. Our complexions might be different, our cultural clothing might be different, our cuisine might be different, but in essence, we all have the same psychological triggers. We have the same challenges in life, and we need to just look beyond the surface. And I hope there's some benefit. I really wanted to kind of discuss this issue. It's a little bit more of a serious issue, in comparison to what I normally discuss. But I still hope that there was some practical tips, something positive there for people to take from the things that I've said, and just try to do something positive, do something good, raise awareness. Right? It's now is the time. Okay, we're living it. This is the best time ever to be alive with the technology at our disposal. You could do something positive for yourself, for your family, for humanity, okay, for our human family. So everyone can find something to do. We've all got some kind of talent. You just got to unravel that gift that God has bestowed you with. So yeah, I can ramble on about this, but I hope there was some value there. Stay blessed, everyone. Take care of yourself, your families. Cherish the blessings in your life. If you have freedom, it is a blessing. If you're able to walk. We've been in lockdown, but we've been able to exercise and order food and have pizzas delivered to our house, over the last year and a half or so. And there's, people around the world, like children in Palestine, they don't have that. They haven't had that. They've never had that. They've never known it for, almost a century. So things need to change. We need to really take care of one another and realize that we're not going to be in this world forever. We need to be people who have love and share love, and we will reciprocate that, and we'll get that back in abundance. Stay blessed, everyone. Peace be upon you all. Salam.